Baik, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Selamat sore Bapak, Ibu, dan teman-teman semua. Selamat datang di acara Kongko bareng GusDurian Jogja, Healing Through Unity bersama Haemin Sunim. Ya, acara ini merupakan bagian dari rangkaian Festival Beda Setara yang mungkin teman-teman di sini sudah ada yang mengunjungi ya festival di sini. Nah, pada sore hari ini kita akan kongko-kongko berdiskusi dengan narasumber kita yang sudah ada di sini, narasumber yang sangat spesial ya, datang langsung dari Korea Selatan. Dan ya, beliau adalah Haemin Sunim, seorang guru agama Buddha Zen, sekaligus juga penulis yang sangat populer dan berpengaruh di Korea Selatan. Nah, buku-bukunya mungkin teman-teman udah ada yang lihat di depan sana, ada The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down, Love for Imperfect Things, dan When Things Don't Go Your Way. Nah, buku-bukunya ini tidak hanya terkenal sebagai panduan dalam bermeditasi, tapi juga panduan dalam menghadapi tantangan dalam kehidupan sehari-hari. Nah, perkenalkan, saya Wijunerasi dari GusDurian Jogja. Pada sore hari ini saya akan menjadi MC dalam KBGJ Festival Best sore hari ini. Nah, Festival Best sendiri merupakan upaya jaringan GusDurian untuk menyuarakan pengalaman dan ide tentang keberagaman yang selama ini sudah dilakukan oleh teman-teman GusDurian selama 14 tahun. Harapannya agenda ini bisa menjadi refleksi dan juga pembelajaran bersama dalam mengelola isu keberagaman dan berkeyakinan. Inilah yang membuat jaringan GusDurian menyelenggarakan sebuah festival yang dinamai dengan Beda Setara atau Best Festival. Pelaksanaan Best sendiri sudah dimulai sejak tanggal 10 kemarin sampai besok tanggal 16 November 2024 ya. Ada banyak acara yang teman-teman bisa ikuti, antara lain ada simposium Best, ada peringatan Haul Gusdur nanti malam, kemudian ada pameran KBB, ada pasar bestari, ada panggung budaya, ada jalan sehat besok bersama teman-teman yang beragam. Nah, acara ini sendiri merupakan untuk kolaborasi antara kami, GusDurian Jogja, kemudian pastinya UIN Sunan Kalijaga, ada juga dari kepustakaan dipersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, Haemin Sunim. Yes, thank you for come here and join with us at Best Fest. Selamat sore teman-teman. Selamat sore teman-teman Besti, karena teman-teman adalah bagian dari Festival Beda Setara atau Best Fest. Selamat yang saya hormati teman-teman semua yang sudah datang, panitia, yang Buddhist Association, kemudian KPG dan The Honorable Haemin Sunim, and siapa lagi nih ya, pokoknya semuanya besti-besti yang sudah bergabung dan juga mungkin dari beberapa hari yang lalu sudah mengunjungi area-area Best Fest. yang ingin saya sampaikan, terima kasih kepada segenap teman-teman dari YBA yang Buddhist Association, dari KPG tentunya yang sudah menjadi bagian dari Best Fest, terutama di agenda Kongko bareng GusDurian Jogja, atau biasanya teman-teman nyebutnya sebagai KBGJ gitu. Perkenalkan, saya Marleni Adia, saya Ketua Pelaksana. Saya juga menyampaikan permohonan maaf untuk teman-teman yang di sini karena Mbak Alisa Wahid sama Mas Jai Ahmad selaku koordinator jaringan GusDurian dan koordinator Seknas jaringan GusDurian belum bisa bergabung dengan teman-teman gitu karena masih ada agenda yang sedang berlangsung di Convention Hall gitu untuk membahas masih berlangsung acara simposium yang juga merupakan bagian atau rangkaian dari Best Fest gitu. Sebenarnya sangat menarik ya terkait dengan tema ya pada sore hari ini yaitu Healing Through Unity, di mana itu sejalan dengan misi Best Fest atau Festival Beda Setara. Di mana Festival Beda Setara itu merupakan festival yang diselenggarakan oleh jaringan GusDurian bekerja sama dengan UIN Sunan Kalijaga. Maaf teman-teman, UIN Sunan Kalijaga gitu kan. Dalam rangka memperingati atau menyambut peringatan Hari Toleransi Internasional yang jatuh pada tanggal 16 November yang sekaligus merupakan momentum ini kami ciptakan dalam skala yang lebih besar karena peringatan 15 tahun wafatnya Gus Dur. 15 tahun wafatnya Gus Dur. Dan kami merasa sangat terhormat karena saat publikasi Best Fest sudah berjalan, kami dikontak oleh Mas Rega dari KPG bahwa Haemin Sunim akan hadir gitu kan untuk melakukan tour di Indonesia dan Asia Tenggara, gitu Mas. Ya, kemudian karena merasa punya visi yang sejalan gitu kan Mas, dari pihak KPG mengontak kami dan kami sangat terhormat. Terima kasih Mas Rega dan teman-teman KPG sudah menjadi bagian dari Best Fest. Tepuk tangan dong untuk teman-teman KPG. Saya juga menyampaikan mohon maaf apabila ada banyak kekurangan dari penyelenggaraan dari festival kami, tapi semoga apa yang sudah kami lakukan bersama teman-teman dari berbagai macam kelompok masyarakat, kolaborasi termasuk dengan KPG dan YBA itu bisa menjadi ruang-ruang di mana teman-teman bisa bebas mengekspresikan diri, menjadi entitas dirinya sendiri dan bisa berinteraksi dalam sebuah keberagaman gitu kan. Di mana kita sebagai bangsa Indonesia itu kan memang lahir dari keberagaman. Best Fest itu hadir dengan tujuan untuk menjadi ruang temu. Termasuk di momentum acara ini. Teman-teman GusDurian dengan YBA sudah menjalin kolaborasi yang ajak gitu kan, yang baik itu, dan beliau Haemin Sunim hadir di tengah-tengah kita juga merupakan momentum yang berharga karena di mana lagi sebuah ruang temu, ruang dialog dari kalangan yang berbeda, dari pemahaman yang berbeda, tetapi bisa saling bersatu seperti tema pada malam hari pada sore hari ini yaitu Healing Through Unity. Tepuk tangan dong untuk kita semua. Akhir kata, saya sekali lagi mengucapkan terima kasih kepada teman-teman yang antusiasmenya, kepada Haemin Sunim dan juga teman-teman KBK dan YBA. Terima kasih, enjoy the event and terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ya, ingin cek semangat teman-teman dulu ya sebelum kita nanti berdiskusi dengan Haemin Sunim. Kita punya jargon di Best Fest. Kalau saya bilang festival beda setara, teman-teman jawab Indonesia rumah bersama. Siap? Oke, saya cek ya. Festival beda setara. Oke, sekali lagi lebih semangat ya. Festival beda setara. Oke, terima kasih. Ya, sebelum kita masuk ke diskusi, saya mungkin akan memberitahukan beberapa hal menarik. Pertama, teman-teman mungkin udah lihat di depan ada diskon 20% untuk buku-buku terbitan KPG ya. Silahkan jangan sampai lewatkan, terlebih kita hari ini kedatangan penulisnya gitu. Jadi mau pas untuk membeli buku-buku Haemin Sunim ini dan mungkin bisa ya intinya momen yang sangat pas aja gitu. Terus selain itu nanti malam ini kami di Best Fest ada acara yang spesial dan bahkan juga menjadi salah satu acara utama kami adalah Haul GusDur, yang di situ nanti akan ada tahlil, doa, sholawat, dan bersama ada 150 penerbang dari berbagai pesantren dan komunitas sholawat ya. Dan ada special guest yaitu Habib Jafar Al-Hadar dan juga ada Habib Hussein ya teman-teman ya. Dan juga ada Mbak Alisa Wahid. Nanti juga akan hadir ke Masjid UIN Sunan Kalijaga. Jadi teman-teman bisalah yang slow-slow ini merapat gitu ya ke Masjid UIN Sunan Kalijaga. Kemudian besok juga ada fun walk. Besok ada fun walk dan hadiahnya sangat menarik, yaitu ada motor listrik dari Alfa Chevro senilai puluhan juta rupiah. Jadi teman-teman boleh nggak sekarang buka HP-nya masing-masing? Sebentar ya, minta marketnya sebentar ya. Sudah siap? Bisa ke browser, lalu teman-teman bisa daftar funwalk-nya di link s.id/daftar funwalk. Sudah? Ya, selain ada hadiah utama motor listrik tersebut, ada juga ratusan buku terbitan KPG yang akan menjadi door prize di funwalk besok. Jadi jangan sampai lewatkan jalan-jalan santai kita yang sangat menyenangkan besok ya. Kemudian, nah di Festival Bestari ini kami juga menerapkan konsep eco green. Jadi kami mengajak para pengunjung untuk lebih peduli dan menjaga lingkungan untuk bumi yang lebih sehat. Dengan cara menjaga kebersihan pribadi, membuang sampah di tempat terpilah yang telah disediakan, dan meletakkan gelas atau piring setelah makan di tempat yang telah disiapkan. Nah, mungkin itu saja pengantar dari saya. Tanpa berlama-lama lagi, saya akan langsung membacakan kurikulum vitae dari moderator kita sore hari ini. Di sini sudah ada Bapak B.J. Sucipto. Mungkin saya akan membacakan sedikit mengenai beliau. Jadi beliau ini, Bapak B.J. Sucipto ini merupakan dosen di program studi sosiologi UIN Sunan Kalijaga. Betul ya Pak ya? Ya. Kemudian beliau juga memiliki beberapa pekerjaan lain seperti translator, kemudian editor, juga peneliti di ISAIS. Pendidikan beliau ditempuh di UIN Sunan Kalijaga untuk program S1-nya di jurusan sosiologi. Kemudian untuk master degree, beliau tempuh di Departemen Sosiologi Institute of Social Science, Selçuk University, Turki. Kemudian beliau juga menulis banyak buku. Ada buku Non-Muslim Acceptance of Halal Product in the Context of Business Development. Ada juga buku Indonesia ini bahasa Turki agak susah, jadi langsung itu. Kemudian ada juga buku Rebutan Lahan di Pesisir Pantai Sumeneb. Ada juga buku Turki yang Sekuler dan masih banyak buku-buku lainnya. Selain menulis buku, beliau juga itu tadi book chapter, ada buku personalnya itu ada Kitab Hitam Turki, ada buku Bahasa Turki Dasar, ada buku Harun Yahya Undercover dan lain-lain. Dan tentunya sebagai dosen beliau juga menulis banyak artikel dan menerjemahkan juga banyak buku. Kalau teman-teman ingin terhubung dengan Pak B.J. Sucipto ini bisa bisa mengunjungi sosial medianya ya. Ada Facebook, Bernardo J. Sucipto, atau X atau Twitter itu ada @_BJE atau Instagram @BJEben. Ya, mungkin itu saja yang bisa saya perkenalkan tentang Pak BJ. Selanjutnya, waktu dan tempat saya serahkan kepada moderator kita sore hari ini, kepada Pak BJ Sucipto, dipersilahkan.
Oke, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody. It is really great opportunity for us here, especially for UIN Sunan Kalijaga, to have Haemin Sunim. Suaranya kok ada ini ya. Coba kecilin sedikit teman-teman. Saya nggak tahu. Oke. I hope that our voice is better. I mean, in this room will hear our discussion, of course, because Haemin Sunim is a very special guest for our event today. And first, I have to say thank you for your coming, Haemin Sunim, to our university, UIN Sunan Kalijaga, because it's really great. We have discussion after this, and I will introduce Haemin Sunim at least for a few words. It's better for Haemin Sunim to describe himself, because Haemin Sunim is very for me. Haemin is like Haemin because she has very spiritual way until this moment. So that's why I will ask some question, because I also have several question for you, Haemin Sunim. But I'm sure that memastikan suara saya aman ya teman-teman ya. Aman suara ini. Saya sendiri di sini kurang enak. Atau mic-nya coba tolong. 1 2 1 2. Ya mungkin ini lebih bagus ya. Oke. Ya, kata beliau sudah turunin ininya, volumenya, suara apanya mungkin ya, saya nggak paham ya. Okay, I will continue to introduce Haemin Sunim. Haemin Sunim is very special for us because he was graduated from Harvard, Princeton, and then Berkeley, I think, and then become a professor for a while. I heard from your podcast, several podcasts, that Haemin Sunim became professor, and then he come back. He come back to learn his traditional value of Buddhism, and then become a Buddhist guru, Buddhist monk. So that's very interesting, long spiritual journey. I think that we have to hear from him. And then I would like to ask you directly, Haemin. But it is a little bit a strange question maybe. Who are you, and what made you end up to be like a spiritual Buddhist teacher? Could you tell everybody here?
Okay. Can everyone hear me? Yes. Okay. I would like to thank everyone for coming to this event. I'm very honored to be invited in this event and to this university. This is my first public talk in Indonesia. Yeah, so I'm very honored. Yes. Yeah. I think the Bernardo, right?
BJ.
Oh, yes. BJ asked me an excellent question. Question of who am I, right? This is the question that we always ask ourselves throughout our lives, right? What am I? What is my identity? Right? In order to formulate our own identity, when we were young, we begin to associate with different kind of story That is, I am born in such and such family, right? And my family, has nice house or not so nice house, or my upbringing was as whatever that was, and I follow whatever the religion that my parents believed, and then I begin to have my own personality. I am shy, or I'm outgoing, or I have I like this kind of music or that kind of hobbies. You see what I mean? And then you begin to formulate your own identity, around those kind of, stories. Yeah. But those stories also, at the same time, restrain us. It makes us feel we are limited. Like, for example, when you say, I am shy, yeah, I used to be very shy. So when I say I am shy, then it makes me feel like I have to, I cannot talk in front of, large group of people, right? Because I have to be true to my identity. My true identity is what? Shy. So because I'm shy, I am not supposed to talk in front of other people. Or when I do, I have to feel a little embarrassed or, uncomfortable. But is it true that I'm always shy? Are you always shy? Yeah, I'm asking you, yeah, are you always shy? Yeah, no, sometimes we are shy, sometimes we are not shy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, but if we define ourselves with some kind of past history, like story, that maybe when I was very young there was a shy moment, I appeared to myself to be quite shy in front of my family or in front of my teacher, then I remember only that moment and then say, from now on I'm going to define myself as being shy. Then what happened? That definition limit me. You see what I mean? Yeah. So whether it's your personality, whether it's your hobby, preference, whatever that is defining you as such, as long as you have that story within you, please see how limiting that is. Yeah. So your true nature is actually beyond that, beyond those kind of limitations, beyond those kind of labeling, beyond those kind of personality or upbringing, whatever the story that you keep on repeating yourself, and thereby you feel like you are locked inside the story, and therefore you cannot move. I feel like I'm prisoner of my own story. Yeah. But they are just story. You see what I mean? Just repeat after me. They are just stories. Yeah, they are just somebody's perspective. Yeah, somebody's perspective. Like, for example, while growing up, your mother might have said, oh, you are messy, you are very messy, right? So you somehow, when you were young, because your mom keep on saying you're messy and you're messy, I thought I am very messy. You see, you just basically adapt the perspective of your mother, your mother's view about you. Somehow you adapt that view, right? And then you think that view defines me, right? And if you do that, who's being limited? Me. Are you always messy? No. Maybe sometimes I'm messy, but not always, right? So whatever that view somebody says about you, don't believe that, okay? Because that is that person's perspective, that person's opinions, right? And that person has their own limitations, yeah? Because of they're seeing things through their limited view, limited experience, and their own particular preference, and thereby they are judging you as such. But you don't have to accept their judgment. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes? You can say, oh, that is very interesting that you say such and such, but I don't think that is necessarily true, yeah? Like, for example, sometimes, people say, oh, you are not a good monk, or something like that. Yeah, you are not a very wise monk, or, whatever they want to say about me. And then I say, oh, that's very interesting, yeah? But I don't think that is true, because that particular view reflects more about that person than myself. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah? How many times do you feel that, somebody says something about you, but if you listen to that, actually, it wasn't about me. It was more about themselves. You see? Yeah? So I want you to feel that, whoever says anything, negative things, especially judgment about you. Yeah, you are, ugly, or you don't have a talent, or you are not lovable, whatever that is, that just reflects that person's limited view. You are way more than that, okay? Actually, in fact, you are free, right? What did I just say? You are free. Yeah, you are free. You don't have to just dwell on what other people says and end up feeling jaded, in prisons.
Yeah, really nice story. Big applause to him. Yeah.
To say, that is, when I was young, when I was 16 or 17 years old, I thought that happiness, what I'm looking for, maybe what I'm looking for is happiness, right? What you're looking for is happiness. Am I right? Yes, yeah, we are all looking for happiness. I felt like happiness is not here, yeah, not here, not in my city, yeah, not in my town, yeah. I felt like happiness must be over there. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. It can be over there. I don't know. For you, might be I don't know, different city. Yeah, it can be, I don't know, Jakarta, or I don't know where it is. Like, or I don't know, maybe Singapore, or South Korea. I don't know, like America. Or it can be other time, not now. Not now, but when I become older. Yeah, when I become older. So I imagine that happiness is not here now. It has to be found. It can be only found if I go over there. Yeah. And because I was young and I was stupid, so I imagined that, what I have is not happiness, what I have is not happiness. This is boring, so the real happiness must be over there. So I went over there, so I went over there to United States because I had an uncle, my uncle borrow huge amount of money from my father, but he did not pay back the money. So my father said, "Oh, why don't you go to your uncle and then just, go to university from there?" And so I said, "Okay, yeah, since he's going to take me, why don't I?" So I went there while thinking that happiness is where? Over there, right? And while I was there, especially I was in California at the time. I was, attending university in California. But while I was in California, you know what I felt? I felt like, oh, the real happiness is not here, but over there, that's East Coast, East Coast, Boston, like Boston and New York, not West Coast, it has to be East Coast, So I imagine that real happiness is in East Coast. So it has to be in Boston or New York, So I went all over there, right? And thinking that that's where it is. Yeah, that's where the true happiness is. Then when I was there, what did I find out? Yeah, I found that, oh, it's not here either. It has to be somewhere else. So I actually decided to live 2 years in China, Beijing. Yeah, I was studying in China. And then while I was there, guess what? Oh, it's not here. It must be where? Japan. So I went to Japan and studied in Osaka, in Japan, do you see the pattern? Yeah? Do you see the pattern? What's the pattern? Yeah, you keep looking for happiness. While you are looking for happiness, do you find it? No. Because if you are looking, or if you are trying to be happy, if you say, I am trying very hard to be happy, yeah? What do? You instantly create distance between right now and the future self. You see what I mean? Yeah. But the future self, you try to meet the person, meet my future. Yeah. But as soon as you get there, if you keep on looking for happiness, what happened? That person is going further away. You see what I mean? Yeah, you are chasing the horizon. Yeah, like a horizon. You're looking for a horizon. Keep running, and just so that you can meet the end of the horizon. But you cannot, because as soon as you are chasing it, you will never get there. So true happiness is where? Here and now. Where? Yeah, true happiness is here and now. This was my discovery after 20 years of looking, Yeah, 20 years of searching. Oh, must be in America, must be in China, must be in Japan. And then I came back to where? Korea. So, like coming all the way back, Do you know the story about blue bird? Do you know, like somebody went out to look for little two kids, Michiru or something, and they are looking for bluebird. They said that bluebird is the most beautiful bird. So they went out and looked for the bluebird everywhere, and they just do a lot of hardship, difficulty, adventure, and all that. But they couldn't find it, and they came home, and they realized bluebird has been already where? In their house. You see what I mean? Yeah, they forgot that, what they're looking for, they already had it at their home, just that they thought that it's somewhere else. Yeah. When we are young, it is very easy to think that, the happiness, what I'm looking for is somewhere else, But what you can find out later on in your life is, as long as you are constantly seeking, looking, or trying to be happy, trying to make yourself happy, it's very difficult for you to get there. Yeah. So let me give you a good example. In United States, there was a very interesting psychological experiment. People who make 30,000 US dollar, per year. Yeah, they ask, oh, how much do you think you can, what amount of money would you like to make so that you can finally feel happy? Yeah. So they say, oh, for $30,000, they say, 50,000. They say 50,000, right? So then once they get to 50,000, guess what they say? Do they say, yes, I made it, I'm so happy? Do they say that? No. You know what they say immediately? They say $100,000, right? Right? So they work very hard, and one day they get to $100,000. So they interview people who are actually making $100,000. So they ask, are you happy? Are you content? And you know what they say? For $100,000, they say $250,000. The bar is keep on what? Getting wider, 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 wider. Can you ever reach it? No. So only way we can make ourselves, actually happy is this. Can you repeat after me? This is like secrets, the real big secrets, okay? I rarely talk about these secrets, but I will tell you, yeah? So repeat after me. The secret to happiness is to realize I am already happy. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm not saying that what you have is ideal. I'm not saying that what you have is ideal. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, you can do better. Yeah. You can get a better job. You can, lose more weight. Maybe, you can, I don't know, for men, you can have more muscle, or you can speak better English, or, you can have better degree. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not saying that, situation that you have is ideal. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that if we do not find happiness right now, and while imagining that maybe arriving at some other destination, whether it's a place or job or, boyfriend or girlfriend or, different type of living situations, even if you have it, you will never find it. So what I'm trying to say here is that so in order to become happy, there is a secret path, secret door, that door is called gratitude. What is it? Gratitude, yeah? So when we begin to cultivate gratitude, guess what happened? More gratitude, more things to be thankful, it keeps on appearing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah? Yeah? So if you are really grateful right now, then guess what? New opportunities keep coming up to you. New opportunities keep coming up to you. Yeah? Yeah? That's what happened to me. Yeah? I am the real proof. When I first wrote my simple book, the things you can see only when you slow down, I did not know that I will ever get to come to this university and meet you face to face. Yeah? Isn't this incredible? Yeah? This opportunity to be able to speak in front of you is so amazing. Yeah? Because it's new to me. I never had this kind of opportunity before. So, if you can be open and be grateful, then unthinkable opportunities keep on coming to you, right? If you are helping other friends, for example, sometimes I help my friend, and then some of my friends, after receiving my help, they don't say thank you. Yeah, they don't say I'm grateful to you. Then next time, do you feel like helping your friend? No, because this person didn't appreciate my help, right? But let's say you help somebody, yeah, you help good example is I lent some money to my friend, yeah. He was going through some difficult time, but he was telling me how thankful he is. He's so grateful, and so and then within a short period of time he returned the money to me, And what do I feel next? When he asks for another help, will I help him or not? Yes, there's a higher probability that I will help him because he is very what? Grateful. Yeah. So gratitude attracts many new opportunities. Yeah, things that you never thought about before. So the flip side is also true, the opposite. That is, you see that world is just a horrible place. World is just a horrible place. Then what happened? You will always begin to find other horrible things because the world will match to your own belief. Whatever belief you have about the world, because you want to see that you are right. When you go out, you will see those things. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, and then a lot of horrible things will keep on happening to you, and then thinking that, oh, see, I'm right. The world is just absolutely horrible. So depending on what kind of mindset you bring into every moment, that will create a new reality for us.
Really remarkable story, everybody. Thank you again, Haemin. Your story, and also your history. It's like, like awaken myself. That there is a lot of something. Of course, it is the story of everybody. Of course, when look for happiness and anything. But right now, I try to ask you your opinion, your reflection, particularly for Gen Z. Gen Z. Gen Z meaning that Gen Z. Okay, Gen Z. Right now, our world that we live a little bit. Of course, it is complicated. A lot of something like burnout, jealousy, distraction, mental health. Yeah, of course, a lot of factors behind it. One of them is social media, internet. So how do you see, how do you view this kind of life when everybody like disconnect each other, particularly in real life, but young generation try to stay in online, and then they have several problems with mental health.
Right. I get these questions many times. Yeah, that is because of social media. It's so much harder nowadays. People's are when I see my friends where they went, like a beautiful photo with their family or boyfriend, they travel to beautiful place on earth and they are eating wonderful food. They are having such a great time, and I feel jealous. I feel my life is not good, and therefore I feel depressed and I feel angry. Right. And therefore we are the victim of social media. Yeah. This is very common, narrative that I see here all the time. But the thing is, the wonderful thing about social media is that if you do not want to see it, can you not see it? Yes, you cannot see it. Yes, you can block it, right? If you don't want to see it, you just block it or you mute it. Yeah, Facebook has a muting function for 30 days. You don't have to see or hear anything from that person, right? Okay, what I'm trying to say is you don't want to be the victim, right? Because when you say I am the victim of social media, we become powerless. Yeah, we feel like there's nothing I can do, and therefore I can just only complain about the world and social media. But the thing is, my social media is filled with inspirational talk. I don't know about your social media, but my social media, because I keep on, listening to wonderful talk, TED Talk. Do you know TED Talk? Yeah, a wonderful talk, inspirational talk about other people's, how we can better ourselves, how we can heal our heart, some of the great teachers, teachings, and a wonderful positive message. Because that's what I keep on looking. Guess what social media does? They keep on showing more of that, right? In other words, you can choose what kind of social media you want to dwell in. You see what I mean? You are not a victim, You can choose, you can create how your social media feed you receive. You don't have to just be, passive and become a victim. Instead, I'm going to choose how I'm going to feel about myself, because I want to eat better. Then what do? I follow some of those people who, teach me how to eat better. And guess what? Then I keep, having that good information. What kind of bad food I need to avoid, what kind of, fresh food I can make, new fresh food recipe or something like that. Or if I want some positivity in my life, great gratitude, for example, then you follow those people who share those message. And guess what? Those message will keep appearing to you. Yeah. So we don't have to be the victim. We can create our own social media reality. Okay? Yes.
Thank you. Applause again to Haemin. Yeah. And I want to ask you about a little bit religious, religious teaching of Buddhism, and how can religious teaching, particularly in Buddhist, help us understand the need for authentic or meaningful life? Because generally understood, we are here at State Islamic University. It means that most of us from Islam, it is important for us, of course, to hear from you the meaning of spirituality in Buddhism. How can Buddhism value can help, to heal the world? Maybe it's a little big things, but of course we want to hear your story, your opinion about it, because we are here from Muslim, generally from Muslim students.
Okay. I taught religion in American University for about 7 years, right? Yeah. So religion for me is such a big topic. My PhD is in religious studies. Yeah, that's what I studied for the last 20 years. But when I was in high school, I met my friend, from the United States, actually. At that time, he was a Mormon missionary. I don't know, do you know like a Mormon missionary? Like American missionary, like a Mormon missionary, right? So the reason why I, got to, hang out with him is because I can play ping pong, I can play ping pong free, with him, and, practicing English with him. So, but as I was talking to my friend, he keeps on saying that his religion is the only truth, and the other religion is all wrong, right? That's what he was keep saying, that Mormon, like it's part of Christian, maybe, Christianity, I would say, but that particular, Christianity, Mormonism is the only true, and all other religion is not true. Yeah. So, but if I go see other religion, like for example, for me at that time, I was surrounded by Protestant Christians. My aunt, they were all Christians, right? And so when I went to see other, Protestant Christian, they say, no, that's not true. Mormonism is not real religion. Yeah, if you want to be saved, you have to come to my church, my church is baptism, yeah. Baptist church is a real church, right? And Catholic is not a church. Yeah, Catholic is not a church. Mormonism is not a church. My church is a real church, right? And then, when I go see a Buddhist monk, yeah, although Buddhist monks, Buddhists tend to be a little more tolerant. They recognize the value of other religions, right? But when I get to talk to them, like really, really talk to them, like 9 to 10 p.m. talk to them, they have this pride that their religion is number one. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. But even within Buddhism, there is division. That is, Theravada traditions. Yeah, they think that if you talk to them, in the beginning, they say, we are the same Buddha, Buddhists, whatever. But if we talk to them at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., over, drink coffee or not coffee, the tea, then they say Theravada is number one, right? Other Buddhism, Mahayana or Tibetan tradition, Tantric, no, they are not real Buddhism, right? But if you go listen, study Tantric Buddhism, guess what they say? Tantric Buddhism is the fastest, best Buddhism in the world, not the Mahayana, not the Theravada, And then if you come to Korea and talk to Zen Buddhism, what do they say? Guess what? They say what? Zen Buddhism is what? Number one. And then all other Buddhism is not good, not as good. They are good, but not as good. You see? You know what I mean? Yeah. What's happening here? What's going on here? Do you see pattern? Yes? What is the pattern? The pattern is whatever that person is familiar with, closest with, they think that what they are closest with, whether it's a religion or whether it's a tradition, whether it's a habit or food preference or color of your clothes, the way you dress, whatever that is, when that person is close or familiar with that, whatever that is, in this case is religion, they think that familiar thing is good, yeah, better than other things, yeah. In fact, it is the best. You see what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you talk to people who live in Seoul, and they will say, Seoul is number one. Yeah. If you talk to people who live in New York, they say New York is the center of the world. If you go talk to Paris, guess what? Paris is the most beautiful place on earth. Yeah. What's happening here? Yeah. How can we be so sure that what we are familiar with is the best? Can we ever be sure? Can you? Yeah. Because I spend so much more time studying Buddhism, right? But just because I spend a lot of time with Buddhism, I cannot say that the thing, because I didn't spend equal amount of time and effort to learn about Islam or Christianity or Judaism or Hinduism, yeah? How can I say that what I'm most familiar is the absolutely right and all other thing is just all wrong? It is like saying, my mother is the most beautiful woman in the whole world, right? A lot of children that feel that way, right? My mom is the most beautiful woman in the whole world. Yeah, but what do you find out later? Your friend also has his mom, right? Your friend has her mom. And then your friend thinks her mom is the most beautiful woman in the world. Yeah, but the thing is, just because we know we are most familiar with, in this case, mother, yeah, doesn't mean that we cannot say that. You can say that my mom is most beautiful woman to me, but it is very difficult to say my mom has to be the most beautiful woman for everyone. Do you see the difference? Yes? Right? I think that's where the tolerance and respect comes, when it comes to religions. Yeah? Because I spend a lot of time studying about my religions, and the thing that I am very familiar with, and therefore I feel very comfortable. And not only I feel comfortable, I feel it is very good. And because I think it's good, I think it is right, right? Just because I feel this is right, how can I make this judgment that others are wrong? You see what I mean? Yeah? Isn't this a little too simplistic? Just like a little kid saying that my mom is the most beautiful woman in the whole world. If we were to assert my superiority of one religion, it is to say, isn't this a similar in a conversation? So rather than saying that, I think my religion is number one, I think we can say that my religion is number one to me, and I also do not know about other religion. Therefore, I have a lot of respect for other religion because I do not know. I simply don't know. How can I make any kind of judgment when I do not know? You see what I mean? Yeah, I think that has to be a better, approach. Yes.
Yeah, I want to elaborate more about multicultural society like Indonesia, and also because it is the moment of GusDur memories that ini sudah satu minggu ya. In 1 week, GusDurian has a special memory of loving memory for Gus Dur, ya. So as Zen monk who often engage with cultural different culture, I mean, you were in America, then to China and other places, that of course you face different realities with different cultures and identities. How do you view the importance of tolerance, religious freedom, and belief for unity, particularly to create peace in society? Because it is peace, to create peaceful society, because it is the big problem for us. It is like a real cause for a country with a different culture, with different backgrounds. We have, at least our formal religion here are 6 religions: Islam, Christian, Catholic, Buddhist, Hindu, Confucius, Confucianism, yeah. Sorry. That's our history to remaking. I mean, our society try to build peaceful society every time, and Gus Dur was one of the figure that try to introduce and make our society better and peace. Do you have some?
Okay. Yes. Okay, let's say that somebody, grew up, somebody while they were young, ever since they were young, their parents and also their neighbor, they all say, "Oh, you are so pretty, you are so cute, you're so wonderful, you're so pretty, And then while growing up, you always listen to that, "Oh, I am beautiful, you are beautiful, you are beautiful." So this person's believe that I am beautiful, right? And then somebody says, come along, maybe in college or something, and then said, "Oh, you are so ugly, Yeah, you are so ugly, How can you walk around with such an ugly face?" Yeah, somebody said to you, yeah? Then what happened? Would that person's remark hurt you so bad? Or will it rattle you? You will shake you to the core? Or you will think, that's annoying, and then you walk away. You know what I'm saying? If you truly feel that you are already very beautiful, then people who say the opposite, like you are ugly or whatever, then it's not going to affect you. It's not going to faze you. It's not going to disturb you to the core. Yeah, you'll be annoyed, like, what are you talking about? And then you just walk away. Yeah, like, or let's say you have a lot of money in your bank. Like, just imagine that. Yeah, and then somebody come to you and say, "You are such a poor person. How poor are you?" Then what do you do with that? With that person's remark, you say, okay, whatever, and then you ignore and move on. You see what I mean? Are you threatened? We are not threatened. When we are sure about my own true identity, that is love and freedom and beauty, then it doesn't threaten my own, it doesn't threaten me, However, let's say I've been believing secretly that actually I'm ugly, Although I look very confident and I put a lot of nice makeup, and so I look beautiful, but inside I feel that I am ugly, let's say. So, and then, your friend says, "Oh, you don't look as, beautiful as yesterday. What happened to you?" Or something like that, passing remark. Then what happened? You get distress, you get stress because whatever that person's saying confirms your belief. If you do not believe in what the person's saying, would that rattle you? Would that be threatened? Would you be threatened? No, you will not be threatened. The reason why I'm saying is this, when somebody says, somebody feel threatened by something, like whether it's religions, especially religion, I feel threatened by another religions, and therefore I have to attack, I have to assert superiority of my religion. Is it because that person is very secure? That person feels that what they are, the religion that they believe in is something that they feel very, what's the word that I'm looking for? Very happy, and you feel very assured of yourself. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, we feel threatened, only when we do not know our own value. When we are not sure about who we are, then when somebody is what they are saying, it can, really, we see that as a threat. When it comes to religious freedom, I just want to, think about this. How much are we really free? How much are we really free when it comes to religions? Because how many of you choose your religion against your parents' wish? How many of you? Yeah? I see no hands here, right? Yeah? Did you have freedom? Like, for example, why didn't you believe in Shintoism? Why didn't you believe in Judaism? You see what I'm saying? Yeah? Because I asked that question to myself when I was very young, 16 years old, because people that I met, like my Christian friend, they think their religion is number one because that's how that person was brought up. In their own family, they say, oh, their Christianity is number one. This is what it is. Yeah? Right? But where is the freedom? I don't see any freedom. You are just what? Conforming to whatever the family expect you to behave. You see what I mean? Yeah. So if you truly see that, that is, I am maybe following my own traditions, without, giving myself a lot of freedom to choose, like for example, then can we also have the same kind of sympathy for people of other religions? Whether it's a Judaism or whether it's a Shintoism, whether it's a Buddhism, whether it's a Hinduism, have the same kind of reverence and respect. Just like the way I never chose my religion, this is the religion that I grow up with. Maybe other people who are following different traditions, they are also in the same situations. I am Buddhist because in Korea, the religion that I could choose was either Christianity or Buddhism. So I chose Buddhism, right? But it is very limiting. I don't think there's a whole lot of, freedom there. I just chose the one that I was familiar with. So when I see no freedom in my choice, I can also see no freedom in the religion that I hate. Religion that I do not approve of. You see what I'm trying to say? We are just as limited, by our own upbringing. And when we can truly appreciate this truth, then we begin to see, maybe I cannot hate or be threatened by another religions, because they are talking out of their own fear. It is their own fear that is making them, say the very, nasty things about my traditions. It reflects their own ignorance. You see what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, big applause to Haemin. Thank you. Before I give you a session for questions, I will ask, this might be the last question for me, and then I would like to ask you to ask more questions in order to be more interactive, because Haemin, coming from Korea, is for book tour. So everybody coming here, maybe you want to buy this book, you can buy it outside. There is a table and full of books. There is at least 3 books of Haemin Sunim. When things don't go your way, the thing you can see only when you slow down, and then love for imperfect things. Regarding this book, in my opinion, this book is, all of your books are very simple. Very simple. I mean, simple. I mean, it is about how the way you see the world. You master, observe every single things in the world, and then you try to interpret it by your way, by your own way. So, how do you find this way? I mean, how do you build your personal way in seeing this complicated world?
All right. Thank you for asking that questions. So yesterday, I flew over from Jakarta to Yogyakarta airport, right? So as I was going through the security, and what do? We have to put our luggage going through the X-ray, right? And then so I put down my luggage. I took off my jacket, and also my wallet, my watch, and then I tried to go through the security, right? And as I was doing it, there was one person in front of me. Like the person in front of me was really, really slow. you know. So I was like, why is this person so slow, you know? I was so kind of annoyed, you know. I was like annoyed, like, why? Because this person looked, you know, like kind of like young to me, at least from the behind, you know, from the behind that I see. This person kind of look young, and why is this person did not prepare in advance? Because it was his turn, then he can just poop and then poop poop, and then he can just walk right in, right? But all the way to the end, he was not like, you know, preparing, and then only when he was his turn, then he start doing it very slowly. So I was very annoyed, right? And then so I was like, okay, I'll just wait. I'm the author of The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down, right? So I need to slow down. So I was like, slow down, slow down, slow down. Yeah. So I was like, slow down, slow down. Yeah. I was doing that. And then he finally, you know, finished everything. He walked through the x-ray. And then I was ready. You know, I'm like such a Korean. You know, Koreans always fast, 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 right? So I put everything down, and then I went through the X-ray very quickly, and then I tried to, you know, retrieve my things. Yeah, but my things was right behind the person, right? Very slow person, young, slow person, and then I was very annoyed, right? So I wanted to see what he looks like. Right? He's like, so I just turn around and I try to look what he was blind. He was blind man. Oh my gosh. He was blind man. You know, when I looked and I realized that, oh my God, the person in front of me was blind. And because he was blind, he could not see. He has to wait. He has to feel. You see what I mean? Yes. And then all this conversation that I had within my head, how come this person did not prepare in advance? You know, how come this person is so slow? Why is he making me so annoyed? You know, all of this, I realized it just happened within my head. You know, I interpreted the situation and making me a victim of the situations. But in reality, was I victim? No, I wasn't. I was not aware of where that person was coming from. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Oftentimes, we have a problem with another human being. Yeah. Whether it's your roommate or your sister or your professor or, you know, somebody on the street, you have a problem with that person. That person might be very annoying, making you feel very angry or frustrating, or you simply cannot understand why this person is saying these things. Yeah? Maybe we have that feeling because we have not seen things from their perspective. I have only seen from my perspective, but I fail to see it from their perspective. And therefore, I was making myself victim. I felt frustrated, angry. Yeah? Maybe because the way my mother grew up was very difficult. You know, my mom did not receive a lot of approval or a lot of love or a lot of attention from my mother's mother. Yeah? Therefore, the way she treated me was also very similar. That is, I did not receive approval. I did not, you know, my mom did not show me a lot of love to me. So I always feel like I am not good enough. I am unlovable, you know. And I was thinking, I've been blaming my mom, you know, for not giving me what I needed, right? But if you see it from your mom's perspective, yeah, maybe that is the only way that she could have loved you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes? Yeah? So if you really see your roommate, you know, the way roommate, maybe the person is very messy, right? Maybe that's how they knew, you know, how the household looked like. This is the way they, you know, maintain their room. That's the way they did, you know. So rather than make a very quick judgment about other people, like the way I did. How come this person is so slow, right? Just slow down. Yeah, slow down. And then what? You will see. You will understand, what's really happening. And you don't have to make yourself victim of the circumstance. If you understand where the other person is coming from, there is instant understanding, and that understanding brings actually peace and forgiveness and even love. Yeah? Okay, thank you.
Tepuk tangan. Yeah, I have to say that this book is not only about one thing, but it is a comprehensive way to understand life, covering from about relationship, broken hearts, of course happiness. This time is yours, everybody. Kalau misalkan mau nanya bahasa Indonesia juga nggak apa-apa, biar kita bantu. Tapi langsung komunikasi sama beliau di bahasa Inggris itu akan lebih bagus. Jadi ini banyak waktu kita, Mas ya. Sengaja memang we have about 35 minutes, I think, our answering question. I will divide into 2 sessions ya, 3 itu pertama. Kalau masih banyak nggak apa-apa. We have 5 kupon from Gramedia. Nanti siapa yang milih saya nggak tahu. Saya yang milih. Oke, saya yang milih. Oke. Saya buka 6 pertanyaan. Silakan nanti nama dan dari mana. Dari depan 1. Teman-teman mohon dibantu ya untuk mic-nya ya. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 dulu ya. Dibagi 3-3 dulu nggak apa-apa. Nah, nanti terserah. Misalnya saya mau nanya Haemin, kalau misalkan langsung dijawab tidak apa-apa atau masih dikumpulkan. Would you like to answer the question by one by one or directly?
Yes, one by one.
Oh, one by one. Silakan.
Maybe why don't you borrow this?
Halo, perkenalkan, my name is Umi.
And say hi Umi. 1, 2, 3. Hi Umi.
Makasih semua, thank you. Pak BJ mungkin bisa dibantu kalau misal bahasa Inggris saya jelek ya, tapi saya coba buat ngomong pakai bahasa Inggris. Haemin, maybe you can answer my question is about how do you think, or maybe Zen Buddhism perspective about war like Ukraine, Russia, and now it's like Palestine. Because this is really makes us or me really drain and overthink about a war. Is it clear or not?
Right. Our ego is divisive. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. My ego is always, whenever I say my true self, our true self is love, right? Do you agree? Our true self is love. Yes, yes. But love is here, but right above love, there is ego, right? Then love wants to be what? Wants to love each other, and love wants to understand each other, or love one other person to feel happy, right? Yeah. But ego, on the other hand, doesn't want the other person to be happy. The ego want me that prove that I am right. You see what I mean? Yeah, ego wants to prove that I'm right, because ego is basically divisive. It's like dualistic, whereas love is what? Unity. Yeah, love is unity, whereas the ego is divisive. It's just built on this idea of separate self. Yeah, I am separate from the rest of the world, right? So when ego becomes the main, the character, and ruling your whole life, then you will see that the world is always separate. World is always in conflict, always separate. There's no love, and it's either you are right or I am right. So let's see who's right. Let's just argue. Yeah, who's right? Yeah. And so thereby we want to take a side. Ego wants to take a side, right? Because ego is what? Dualistic. Whereas in love, our true nature is what? Unity, love, right? So the thing is, ego wants to take a side by saying that, oh, I support this, I support that, right? Whereas the love sees the pain and suffering, of all humanity, basically. So as a, Buddhist, I do not take any side when it comes to, geopolitical matters. Because I simply do not understand what's really happening. Like, how many times can we say for sure that I know something? Yeah? It is really difficult. Can you say that you really know about your mother? No. Even the person that you are closest to, you don't know really a lot. Yeah. So how can I say that I know something and then I make some judgment about it, given that I do not really know? Yeah. So rather than siding, and making judgments about other people based on the information that I do not know, or just based on what I'm familiar with, therefore I feel comfortable, therefore it must be right, and then anybody who's against what I believe, then they are the enemy, and therefore they deserve. That kind of, the whole game is ego, center game. And as long as you play that ego-centered game, then there is always, divisions, always who's right, who's wrong, and there's always struggle, and there's always conflict. So I want you to go down to one step, down, and then talk to your true nature. That is love, right? Like, I don't know how many times I watch I often, watch, for me, South Korean. We are South Korean, right? Yeah, I'm from South Korea. So our enemy, when I was young, my enemy, my school basically taught me that it's a North Korea, yeah, communism, communist country, Russia, or the China, all the communist country, North Korea, they are the enemy, and then they taught me that there is no humanity in that North Korea. They are the horrible people, they beat people, like they do a lot of horrible things. But the thing is that true? There is no love in that country? No, that's not true, right? Whenever I see interview, on North Korean people, I see that they have, just as much love that I feel for my family, and that's how they feel for their own family. Yeah. So all this projections about what that country or religion or person must be like X, Y, and Z, it might not be right. So I appeal to my true nature, that is love. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sore semuanya, aku Anna.
What's your name?
Anna Lisa.
1, 2, 3. Hi, Anna.
Good evening, Sunim. So I have a conflict in my heart because my partner is from a different religion, and everyone can relate, yeah. And it's like the only time where we argue really hard is only when we talk about religion, because my parents expect my partner to move to my religion, but for me it's like I think that I take good parts from his religion and he takes good parts from my religion. So for me it doesn't matter. And at the end, because he was experienced how my religion practice and stuff like that, he then asked me to convince him to move to my religion, that I have to convince him because I have to, he asked about many things, about theoretical things, you know. But for me, it's more that like, my religion is just something that helps me go on in life. But I'm not really deep in the theoretical part, you know. And that is where I feel like that's the hard part for me, because I cannot convince someone when I myself, I'm not theoretical about it. But for me, it's more like, I feel that my belief helps me go on in life. And then the other part is also, sorry, there's the second question actually, where it's like, for him, it's more that like, if later on we have kids, I want my kids to have freedom in choosing their religion, you know? But in my religion, the problem is like, I am obligated to raise my kids in my religion. There's a rule about that. So I feel really conflict about how do I convince my parents when for me, I accept him for who he is and he accepts me for who I am. It's, yeah.
Okay, yes.
It's really complex, but it's been I don't really find an answer for that. And of course, my parents has their own views, and I don't want to go against their will. So there's a lot of complexity in my issue here.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. You can sit down. Yeah. It doesn't have to be just about religion. It can be anything. Like, let's say you want to marry a man, and then your parents said, "Oh, I don't want him to live in that city. I want him to move into my city." Yeah, right. Like, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be just about religion. Yeah. So then, what comes down to is respect. Yeah. How much do I actually respect the persons, so that this person can have, his own, religion or lifestyle or the city that this person lives. If this person freely choose to convert to my religion, or I freely choose to convert to his religion, then it's a freedom. So you can do that, yeah? But if I am trying to convince or force the other person to, behave like the way I like it, it's the issue of control, right? The issue of control is that love or not? Is it love or not? When somebody tried to control you, when your mom tried to control you, do you feel a lot of love? No, yeah. Look, you try to control somebody because you feel inherently insecure about yourself. Yeah? When you feel insecure about yourself and imagine that the world is a very difficult place and therefore I have to try to control everything, yeah? It says something about that person's belief about the world. It has very little to do with the, reality, true reality. So what I would say is that, can you find yourself enough respect for that person to be who he is? Because, just repeat after me, everyone in this world wants to be accepted as who I am. Right? Yeah, everybody wants to be accepted, But what if somebody says, "Oh, I will accept you if you move to my city. I will accept you if you convert to my religion." Is that love? No, it's not love. Yeah. So it has more issue about your own the feeling that like I would tap into greater love. That is, let him be. Yeah, just as much he's letting you be. Can we live together harmoniously, right? And recognizing each other's difference, but at the same time celebrating, our love together, right? It doesn't have to be just different religion. It can be from, people coming from different, wealth. One person's come from very rich family, another one comes from poor family, right? but can we respect each other's, their family, right? Yeah, without feeling threatened by, wealth of other people or the poverty of other people. Yeah. So I think what it comes down to is whether you can let him be. Yeah. And have a bigger love so much that you can contain it, rather than feeling that I have to control this person's, change this person to my liking, or vice versa. I hope this helps. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe, yes. I think there were two. The beer behind, yeah. No. Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity. Good afternoon, everyone.
What's your name?
My name is Surya.
1, 2, 3. Hi, Sukia. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I would like to ask about what is your turning point to be what is your turning point to decide to be a teacher and a writer, and what is there any person who influenced your life to be a teacher and writer to?
Okay.
And the second question is, can you give me tips how to forgive the big mistake of someone and
What?
and find peace in my life?
Okay.
Thank you.
So the first question is, how I became a writer is because I didn't know that I was going to become a writer, right? I didn't know. When I was young, I didn't know that I was going to be a monk, yeah? And I didn't know that one day I would go to Indonesia and go to Yogyakarta and give a talk in front of you. I didn't know. Yeah. So life is full of opportunity, full of possibility. Also another word is uncertainty. Yeah. If you can embrace uncertainty, it can also lead to many different possibilities. As long as we stay positive and also be grateful, then gratitude opens up new opportunities, right? Yeah, so as I was, tweeting at the same time, Twitter was very, popular. So I just, share my thoughts over Twitter, and especially after talking to young people in Korea, I give them some advice and I write about it, and then people begin to follow me. And then I didn't think much of it. But later, somebody told me that, I should turn that into a book. and then I got a couple of offers from different Korean publishers. And that's how I started. And then after my book became bestseller in Korea, the right has been bought by the US, the Penguin and Random House, the biggest publisher house in the world. And then, the publisher began to sell my rights, throughout all this different country. So I never knew, this would be possible. So what I'm trying to say is that please open to many possibilities. That we do not know what kind of lives we have. As long as you stay positive and grateful, then gratitude will attract a lot of new opportunity, unthinkable future. Okay? Yeah. And then the second question is, how can I forgive somebody? Yeah. I talked about that in my second book. I think about forgiveness. Yeah. So please buy my second book. but I guess short answer is that, like I said before, rather than trying to see things from my own perspective and try to see things, the person who hurt me, that person's perspective, because they did not know better. Yeah, they didn't have any other option. That's how they brought up. That's how the particular condition they found themselves in. So rather than making quick judgments, saying that this person should have never done that to me. But if you actually understand, how he was brought up in his own family, his own issue, then you will understand, oh, maybe, this is what happened. But the bigger issue is, why is that I was so hurt? You see what I mean? Yeah. Rather than assigning the blame to other people, you have to use that as an opportunity. Why am I bothered? Why am I so suffering from this? Because you have a limited belief. Okay, let me just tell you one example. So 3 days ago, I arrived in Jakarta. 2 days ago, I arrived in Jakarta. In the morning, I woke up and had breakfast in the hotel. In the hotel, I was waiting in line to get omelette, egg. And then, so there was a woman in front of me, and then me. And then older Indonesian gentleman came, and then instead of waiting behind me, he went around us and then talked to the chef that, oh, I want sunny side up or something like that in Indonesian language, right? So I was like, what's happening? What's happening, right? And then the chef made the egg and for him first. So I felt like, what the hell, what's going on here, right? And then I was annoyed, yeah. But it was bothering me. I was so bothered by this, yeah. And then, so I use this as an opportunity. Why am I bothered? Why am I hurt by these situations? Because for some people, it doesn't matter. Like, I have plenty of time. At that time, I had like 2 hours of freedom, right? So it wasn't as though I was under, pressure to go somewhere, right? I had a lot of time, but I was bothered. So I tried to go deep to myself. Why am I like so bothered? And then it hit me. That is, when I was growing up, some of the, narrative story that I was falsely holding on to was that the story was, I am unimportant, or I am not important because I am poor. Do you see what I mean? As a child, I felt that I am unimportant because I'm poor. Yeah. So because I'm poor and I'm unimportant, other people can go before me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah? And then this person just confirmed my subconscious narrative. You see what I mean? Yeah. That's why I was so upset. He just confirmed my, my subconscious, narrative. But at that time, I asked myself, Haemin, are you really not important? And then the answer is what? No, I am important, just like everybody else is also important. You see what I mean? Yeah. And because I saw that this was not true, yeah, I can shift my mind of abundance. I have a lot of time, yeah. So I can, okay, if he's really that desperate, let him have it, let him have an egg before me. No problem, yeah. I can be generous, yeah. I am just as important, right? You are important and I'm also important. I'm letting you have the egg, no problem, right? Do you see what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So if you are hurt, ask yourself, why am I hurt? So much by this incidents, because maybe it confirms some of your, narrative that you have about yourself, and ask yourself whether that narrative, whether you are not good enough, or you are not talented, you are not handsome, or you are not wealthy, whatever that is, you are not smart. ask yourself whether that is really true. Yeah, the chances are that is not true. Yeah, that is absolutely not true. Okay, thank you. I think there was a woman. Could you please? Yeah. Behind.
My name is Enda. Namaste. Nice to meet you. Actually, you've answered my question before I asking the question, but I want to give a question. Please tell us how to accept various moments like sad and happy, good and bad, which happens one after another with a light heart. How to embracing wholeness. Thank you.
How can I embrace my wholeness? Right.
Mungkin bahasa Inggris saya nggak terlalu bagus gitu ya. Jadi kita selalu mengalami hal-hal yang bergantian, baik itu sedih, senang, terus kadang-kadang sesuatu yang kita nggak harapkan, baik, buruk, dan itu gantian terus gitu. Kita nggak selalu sadar untuk bisa sabar, bisa menerima itu dengan baik. Jadi gimana caranya kita menerima dualitas baik dan buruk itu sebagai sebuah keutuhan gitu.
Makasih. Okay. All right. Right. Let me tell you the good news. The good news is that whatever the feeling that you have, it's going to disappear soon, whether it's a disappointment, hurt, whatever, disappear. Okay. In the lunch, right before coming here, we had a beautiful lunch, close to it was just amazing lunch we had, right? And while I was having lunch, mosquito came and bite me here, right? Mosquito bite me here, right? But I was okay with it. Why? Why am I okay with it? Because, why? Yes, it will what? It will hurt me a little bit, but after 1 hour later, will it still be hurt? No, yeah, you see what I mean? So I'm okay with it because I know that it's not gonna last, whatever it's a disappointment, whatever it's sadness or loneliness, whatever that is, it's not gonna last. So when I know that it's not gonna last, I can be with it. You see what I mean? If you fight that, I don't want to be lonely, loneliness is something wrong, I don't want to feel lonely. And then what do? You repress or you argue with loneliness. And by arguing loneliness, what happened? You prolong loneliness. Yeah? You extend that emotion, you make that emotion bigger. In English, they say, whatever you resist, it persists. Yeah? So you make it persist by resisting it. I don't like this loneliness. I don't like this sadness. I don't like this feeling of depressions. It comes and goes. And then, so we see the impermanence of it and be okay with it. You see what I mean? Yes. Okay. Thank you. And there was a woman. Could you? Yeah. Do you see? Yeah. Raise your hand. Yes.
Okay. Call me Maza.
1, 2, 3. Hi, Maza.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I hope you all have a good day here and forever.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in here. My question is, how do you make sure that gratefulness and positivity, shall we say, is not running from problems, it's not gaslighting other people, problems, it's not toxic positivity? My question is because my family take very good care of our health because we have a disease history of blood pressure and cardiovascular thing. My brother ended up died of cancer and my father of liver problems. And thus it is very problematic for us to have any kind of smoke and environmental factors such as somebody throw waste in front of our house. I once confront an online driver who spoke in front of in our home, and just now my friend has to confront a bunch of Muslim men who is waiting, who doesn't want to go in the mosque for the preacher, but then waiting, smoking at my friend's terrace in front of her home, which is a private area, not a public area. And she is a single mother with somebody in the family is cancer. Well, both of her parents. So in real problems like that, I'm very grateful of this life. I would like to take care of my life. But then other people, this is not feelings. This is some other people doing their stuff, their feelings of insecurity and whatever, and affecting my life. Right now, I have teeth problems because some doctors, some dentists did not thinks that my pain was just feelings in the past. And you mentioned about America. Jack Tapper's daughter actually almost died, and her father actually has to call the hospital to say, "Hey, my daughter is having problems, not cramps." So because as a female, we are under condition of molested, and then our pain is not taken seriously because it's emotional. So we say, put it when it's actually a real pain. How do you feel
I
that?
understand.
Thank you.
I understand. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the questions. This is very important questions, right? How can I remain grateful in the face of very challenging, situations? Something that such as illness or violence. How can I, find myself any kind of appreciations of the situations? It's impossible, right? I'm not condoning. We should not condone other people's wrongdoing. Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that those behaviors are acceptable. Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to say here. They are not acceptable. However, I want to go deeper. Yeah, that is, the world that you see in front of you has so many different type of informations available to you, right? It can be as like, dog, very cute dog, running in front of you, or, small children playing game over there, or it can be, beautiful, flower that I saw today, actually, yeah, borobudu, like it's beautiful flowers, and yeah, amazing. So many, amazing things, and at the same time, difficult things are all happening at the same time, right? So the question is, the world that I want to see, often match with my belief about what world is. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So we subconsciously curate the world that I want to see. Because if I say the world is unsafe, yeah, world is unsafe, that's how I believe, yeah, then the world that we see, we are subconsciously curating the world. And we see unsafe world, out of many different instances, many different, things that's happening, so many, things. Among those, we pick, like a certain small fact about, this news, these things, that things, all those things, if I just put them together, it confirms my belief that world is unsafe. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that world is safe all the time. That's not what I'm trying to say. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is the world exists as a like pure possibility. You know, it is really, it can be from very good to horrible. All of those things are available all at the same time. But the thing is, where your vibration is, where you choose to be in terms of your the vibrational world, then that's how that particular world will open up and appear to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you do, have a lot of difficulty and challenging time within you, then I want you to honor those sadness and pain and anger. So, when things don't go away, I talked about my own issue of abandonment. I was abandoned. I had this issue about abandonment. My fear of abandonment, right? Ever since I was very young, I've had this fear of abandonment. And guess what happened? I experienced abandonment. I experienced huge abandonment in my life because of that, subconscious belief. So what I would say is that rather than quickly blaming, assigning the fault in the world, use that opportunity to look inward and examine, what kind of world am I living? What kind of world do I choose to live? Although it seems there is no choice, but if you look at it, actually you do. Yeah. So let me lastly just say this. I was, very happy that I got to come here and then meet you, for the first time. I never, been to any Indonesian university before, so this is first time. And so I was talking to myself, along the way in my bus, and you know what I said to myself? Thank you, my life. Yeah. Thank you, my life, for this wonderful opportunity. I was seeing the beautiful countryside of the around here, along the way, from the way to Borobudur, yeah, from the way to Borobudur. I saw countryside of Indonesia, and I was feeling like, wow, my life is so full. I am the richest person in the world. I get to experience all of this. I get to experience to meet you. This experience of itself is so wonderful and valuable, and thereby I feel like, thank you, my life, for this wonderful opportunity. Even though it's not always easy, there is always going to be somebody who, very slow or cut you off, However, all those difficult, challenging moments, if we use that as an opportunity to look deep, go deep and try to see, where our condition is, then it can become a place to mature ourselves, then evolve spiritually. Yeah. So we will have more tap into gratitude and also love in that way. Okay, thank you so much.
Tadi saya bukan 6, tapi mohon maaf, kita cukupkan di sini because we have limited time and it is 5 p.m. So it is our length of this event. And then maybe you want to, of course, handbook. Jangan pergi dulu karena nanti ada tanda tangan buku sesuai dengan kupon atau nomor yang sudah diberikan. Maybe you want give some closing statement in one. This university, and then I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. Yeah, my name is BJ Bernardo Jusjupto. Become a moderator for this session. Sorry for my mistake again. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Tepuk tangan yang meriah.
Ya, teman-teman bisa menuliskan nama masing-masing di sticky note yang sudah diberikan ya, dan nanti akan mendapatkan tanda tangan sesuai dengan nomor urut. Oke, untuk tanda tangannya di luar ya teman-teman ya. Oke. Ya, mungkin saya memberikan sedikit penutup ya. Thank you so much Haemin Sunim and also our moderator Pak BJ, terima kasih banyak. Oke. Ya, thank you so much. Boleh foto juga, boleh fotoin juga. Oke. Ya, terima kasih kepada teman-teman semua yang sudah berpartisipasi, dan saya ingin mengingatkan bahwa nanti malam akan ada haul Gus Dur ya. Silakan teman-teman bisa ikut.